Have you ever caught yourself thinking the same discouraging thought over and over again, almost as if it were quietly running in the background of your mind? Maybe it's a sentence you've repeated so many times that it no longer feels like a thought. It feels like reality. I'm always behind. Money is hard to keep. Nothing ever works out for me. If these ideas sound familiar, you're not alone. Many people don't realize that the thoughts they repeat most often can begin to shape the way they notice opportunities, interpret challenges, and respond to everyday situations. The question is, what if changing your reality doesn't always begin with changing the outside world? What if it begins with noticing the conversations you're having inside your own mind? Think about it. Every day, your brain processes thousands of thoughts. Most of them appear automatically. You don't consciously choose every idea that comes into your awareness. Many are influenced by habits, past experiences, emotional memories, and routines that have developed over years. This is one reason why two people can experience the same event, but walk away with completely different conclusions. Their attention is guided by different internal patterns. Maybe you've noticed this yourself. Have you ever been thinking about buying a particular car, and suddenly you start seeing that model everywhere? The cars weren't invisible before. Your attention simply became tuned to notice them. Something similar can happen with opportunities, relationships, confidence, and even financial decisions. When your mind repeatedly focuses on one type of expectation, it may become easier to notice experiences that seem to confirm it. Many people who practice manifestation describe this as the law of attraction in action. Others see it as the natural result of selective attention and habit formation. Whatever language feels most meaningful to you, there is an interesting point they often share. The thoughts that receive your attention tend to receive more of your energy as well. This doesn't mean every thought instantly creates reality. Life is far more complex than that. Challenges exist. Unexpected events happen. Circumstances are not always within our control. But while we cannot control everything around us, we often have more influence over our repeated mental habits than we first realize. Imagine waking up every morning with the quiet expectation that something will go wrong. Without noticing it, you may become more alert to problems than possibilities. A delayed email feels like rejection. A small expense feels like proof that money always disappears. A simple mistake feels like evidence that you're incapable. Little by little, these interpretations begin reinforcing the original belief. Now imagine another possibility. What if your repeated thoughts slowly shifted toward curiosity instead of certainty? Instead of saying, "Nothing good ever happens," you quietly asked yourself, "I wonder what opportunity I might notice today." The circumstances around you might not change immediately, but your attention begins searching for different information. That small adjustment can influence your choices, your conversations, and even your willingness to take action. Most people don't realize how closely attention and emotion work together. Thoughts that carry strong emotions tend to leave deeper impressions on the subconscious. If you repeatedly combine fear with financial decisions, your mind may begin treating every money-related situation as something stressful. Over time, this emotional association can become automatic. Fortunately, habits can also work in your favor. The brain has an incredible ability to adapt through repetition, a process often described as neuroplasticity. Day after day, repeated experiences can strengthen certain mental pathways. This doesn't happen overnight, and it isn't magic. It happens gradually, often so gradually that the change becomes visible only after weeks or months of consistent practice. Have you ever learned a new skill? At first, it required complete concentration. Then, after enough repetition, it became almost automatic. Your thoughts can develop in much the same way. Repeated patterns become familiar. Familiar patterns become comfortable. Comfortable patterns begin guiding your daily decisions without demanding much conscious effort. There's another reason this matters. Your subconscious pays close attention to repetition. It doesn't always judge whether an idea is helpful or harmful. It simply notices what appears again and again. If a particular belief continues showing up, the subconscious may begin treating it as important information. This is why many personal development practices encourage intentional affirmations. Not because repeating a sentence automatically changes reality, but because consciously introducing supportive thoughts may gradually influence where your attention naturally goes. Some people notice that over time, they become more aware of possibilities they previously ignored. Others report feeling calmer when facing situations that once triggered anxiety. The key isn't pretending every problem has disappeared. It's learning to create enough mental space that one negative thought doesn't automatically define the entire day. Think about how often small internal conversations shape external actions. Someone who constantly tells themselves they aren't capable may hesitate before applying for a better job. Someone who believes every investment is dangerous may never spend time learning how money works. Someone convinced that success belongs only to other people might stop trying long before discovering what they're actually capable of. The thought comes first, then the emotion, then the behavior, and eventually, the results begin reflecting those repeated behaviors. People often describe this as a cycle. Fortunately, cycles can change. One small change today can become a different habit tomorrow. Day after day, little by little. What if, instead of arguing with every negative thought, you simply became more aware of it? Awareness often creates options. Once you notice a pattern, you are no longer completely controlled by it. Suppose you hear yourself thinking, "I'll probably fail." Instead of fighting the thought, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this a fact or is this simply a familiar thought? That single question creates distance, and distance creates choice. Many people discover that the moment they stop automatically believing every passing thought, they begin responding more intentionally. Some believe this shift increases their ability to align with the kind of future they want to create. Others simply notice they make calmer decisions. Either way, awareness becomes the starting point. Have you ever noticed how one encouraging conversation can completely change your mood for the rest of the day? The words themselves didn't alter reality, but they changed your focus. Your energy became available for different actions. The same principle may apply to the conversations you have with yourself. Your inner voice is always speaking. The question is whether it's repeating yesterday's fears or helping you notice today's possibilities. This doesn't require perfection. Everyone experiences doubt. Everyone has difficult days. The goal isn't eliminating negative thoughts forever. The goal is reducing the amount of authority they have over your decisions. Little by little, repeated awareness becomes a new habit. And habits shape routines. Routines influence choices. Choices influence experiences. Experiences reinforce beliefs. The cycle continues, but now you're participating consciously instead of automatically. Some people who explore manifestation practices also combine this awareness with calming routines like meditation, mindful breathing, journaling, or listening to relaxing sound frequencies. Many people report that these practices help them slow down enough to notice what they are thinking before reacting automatically. Whether you see these routines as spiritual practices or simply moments of reflection, they may help create greater awareness of your inner dialogue. Without overthinking it, try noticing one thought you've repeated frequently over the past week. Would you intentionally teach that thought to someone you care about? If not, why continue teaching it to yourself? That question isn't meant to create guilt. It's meant to create awareness. Awareness is where change often begins. What happens next depends on what you repeatedly practice. Tonight, before you go to bed, spend just 3 quiet minutes listening to your own thoughts without trying to control them. Simply notice which sentence appears most often when you think about your future, your finances, or your personal goals. Don't judge it. Don't replace it. Just observe it with curiosity. Tomorrow, if that same thought appears again, gently acknowledge it by saying to yourself, "I've noticed this thought before." Then continue with your day. Many people find that this simple practice helps them become more aware of mental habits they previously overlooked. It's a small exercise, but repeated consistently, it can become the beginning of a very different relationship with your own thinking. If this message gave you something meaningful to reflect on, Subscribe to the channel and become part of this daily journey of building a stronger mindset, one step at a time. Share in the comments one thought you've decided to observe more closely over the next 24 hours. Your experience may encourage someone else who is working through the same challenge. Be sure to come back tomorrow for the next practice in this series, where we'll continue building simple daily habits that support greater awareness and lasting personal growth. And if you'd like to explore the additional resources connected to today's topic, take a look at the links in the description and the pinned comment. Remember, lasting change rarely comes from one big action. It often grows from small, consistent practices repeated day after day.